One of the most common mistakes that I've seen people make at this point in my journey as an occultist and as a magician on the internet is that people tend to summon up entities and work with things they are not ready to work with yet. And most common form of this comes from the left hand path side and people and the desire to work with demons and entities they are not yet ready for. In this video, I am going to be explaining to you how most people make mistakes in their journey and why most Satanists fail and lose their soul. So, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Morpheus Darkson, and I am a witch based in India. And in this video, we are going to be discussing demon magic and why most people fail when they are starting to work with demons and other darker entities. It is rather common to see an occultist who is starting out their path as a magician losing themselves by working with demons. They try to summon up an entity and they make some sort of mistake, which causes an enormous backlash that ruins their life. You will find people who are starting out their magical journey all excited, and within weeks or years, even they will start to lose their spark. Their soul becomes empty, their face becomes dull, and when you look into their eyes, you realize there is nothing there behind it. It's as if their entire being is being sucked out by something. And most people think that it is just a side effect of magic, but in fact, it is supposed to be a warning that whatever you're doing, it's a mistake, and you need to tread carefully now. But most people are not aware about that. What they are doing is that they are summoning up entities like Lucifer, Belial, Abaddon. These entities are powerful. They are benevolent to an extent, and yet you can fuck up. And I'm not even talking about Belial or Lucifer at this point, because one of my first evocations was of Lucifer and Belial and King Paimon. All of them were demons. My first evocation that was successful was of Lucifer and Belial. So you have to understand that I'm not against working with demons. Hell, my entire YouTube channel is made with the premise of working safely with demons in a way that can benefit you. But the problem is that most people are not aware about how to interact with any entity, let alone a darker one, because most of them come from a very Christian and very monotheistic paradigm, where there is a clear duality between good and evil, where there is good, the light of God, the angels, and the darker demons, monsters that lie in the shadows trying to devour your soul. But you have to be aware about one thing when you're working with these entities. Your sense of right and wrong, your sense of morality is conditioned. The morality of 1,000 year back is not the same as the morality of someone who is living in the 21st century. A person who is living right now may see child marriages as something that is very abhorrent, something that is very wrong. But to a person living in um, Middle East during 500 BC or 200 AD, they will find that that is quite acceptable under certain circumstances. In ancient Egypt, for example, there was not an idea of a teenage year. It was that when a person got puberty, they would be ready for marriage or they would be ready for work. So the ideas and morality that you espouse right now is not the same thing that it was 1,000, 2,000 years back. So morality is constantly shifting. So you have to let go of this idea of there is a continuous good and evil that is stagnant, that is made in stone. It's nothing like that. You have to use your own intellect and you have to understand where these scenes come from. Morality is real. Morality is part of human consciousness, and yet most people are not aware about what true morality is. Your morality dictates how you interact with the world, it dictates how you interact with the world and the people around you. You have to understand that hurting someone will harm you. It's not karma, it's just reality. Your freedom ends when another's begin. Remember that. That is something that most people forget. When they start up the magical journey, they work with demons. Oh, I'm summoning up this entity. He's dark, mysterious. Oh, they will look into the Clifford. They will look into the Goetia. For example, let's just say that they are looking into the Goetia. They want to hurt this person who have, for example, bullied them. he or she looked into this book, and then they see this entity, powerful, Antas, the demon of rage, of war, and bloodlust. They summon him without proper instructions, without proper knowledge, and they try to kill someone because they bullied them, or they or something that uh, inconvenience this person. What will be the most common result if a person does that? The most common thing would be that the demon would refuse to do it, and the person who is summoning them is so spiritually blind that they will be unable to hear or see that. And the less common thing that happens, or something that I've seen happen after multiple failed evocations like this, is that the demon will punish the person by slowly infecting the soul. Because the human body, the human soul, is very malleable, it is adaptable, but we have to first realize that we are conditioned. So, in a Western paradigm, like I said, there is a clear idea of good and evil. So, a person who has been a Christian all throughout their lives, they will find that they are much more likely to follow the law of church, the light, and their alignment is light. So, when they're starting to summon up an entity to do extreme dark magic, the soul will go through a very adaptable phase. This particular phase will consist of their soul slowly trying to understand and incorporate the darkness around them. But a lot of people will not be able to handle that. They will summon up an entity and want the full presence. But your body and your soul is not ready for that kind of extreme polarity shift right now. So they will slowly go mad. Their brain will literally stop functioning. The soul will be devoured. Trying to go through the cliff, for example, when you're starting out, will cause you to lose your soul 90% of the time. See that and learn that from me, a person who lost his soul at one point and then sold his soul to another demon. But that is a topic for another day. Right now, we are just discussing why people fail. You fail because you are not aware about the true darkness that exists in the world. You have to understand that this demon that you're conjuring is a real entity, an entity of light, an entity of darkness, an entity of power. You have to understand that and you have to accept it. And only then you can work with them properly. And they are sovereign, they are their own entity, they are their own will. So you cannot conjure them and then bind them with sigils and symbols because you have to release them to do your bidding at one point. And what do you think an entity would do if you were trying to fuck them up and then ask them, oh, do this thing for me? What do you think is the most likely outcome of that? The most likely outcome? You're going to get fucked either by the entity directly or by some sort of backlash or by some sort of thing that the entity will do that will get your results, but it will fuck you up in the process. It's kind of like this meme that I'm seeing on the internet where a genie will grant you a wish, but it will cause you harm. For example, I wish for $1 billion. Okay, you have $1 billion, but now you're crushed under weight of $1 billion that falls right out of the sky. It is kind of like that. Understand how you're working with this entity, understand what entity you're working with, and understand how to deal with this entity in a way that can benefit you and not fuck you up. That is the one thing that I want you to learn and take away from this video. Learn how to communicate with an entity, learn how to deal with them, and learn what they are. Understand their perspective, understand how to deal with them, and how to have a civil conversation. And if you want to try to bind an entity while summoning them for some sort of result, God save you, because I don't think any other entity will. So this is just a small video where I wanted to explain this thing, and I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos now, considering the demand that I've been getting. A lot of people have been texting me, Morpheus come back, and so here I am, back from the exile again. So I will see you in my next video, guys. So goodbye, have a great day, and take care, and I will see you on the other side.